We've had a superb British victory here at Manicourt. David Coulthard winning for McLaren, Mika Häkkinen the world champion in second place, Michael Schumacher pulling out. And so David Coulthard's world championship hopes are very much alive and kicking. My personal feeling was if he'd have lost here today, or Michael Schumacher had won, the German would have been away and gone in the World Championship. Tony, we're waiting for the press conference to start. Just give us your upsum of what you've seen.
Well, let's just go. Tremendous performance by Coulthard after all his problems of the weekend. And McLaren, reliability was the big issue for them. Everybody thought that Michael Schumacher was going to go away into the distance. Let's just talk about Michael Schumacher very briefly. That gentleman has not made big noises about the championship. He's refused to talk about statistics of catching up Ayrton Senna. He doesn't want to be engaged in chat about the championship because he says, I've been in this game far too long to start talking like that. Anything can happen to me. We only need one failure, two failures, they're right up there. Jean Todt himself has said, if McLaren have a second half of the season like we had the first half, we're in trouble. Been on the defensive, they haven't been mouthing it at all, and I think that's the right attitude today, and it's great for us because we've got a superb championship battle in prospect.
Do you agree with me that this was an absolutely pivotal race in the championship?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, hi Adrian, thank you very much indeed for joining us. How much pressure was on the whole team to deliver today? Because our feeling was that if it had been Ferrari's day, the championship was almost over the horizon and gone.
Well, it's difficult to say that. Start of 98, we looked very comfortable at the start and Ferrari were struggling, but they gave us a hard run to the end. We felt we'd done a good job in testing, so we came here reasonably confident. Unfortunately for David, we gave him a very rough time in practice, got very little running done the first day, very little run done on Saturday morning, and then had to go in the T-car for his first 2 runs on qualifying. So really, we didn't help him in qualifying. I think he probably should have been on pole if we'd been able to give him a cleaner run, but we weren't.
You'll have heard David apologise for one or two of the gestures he made to Michael Schumacher, but how significant was it from his and your point of view that when they went wheel to wheel, David Coulthard got the better of him?
I think David's proved himself to be a good aggressive overtaker over the years, so I wasn't that surprised when he got past, to be honest. I was confident he would.
We're all wondering now whether team orders are going to come into play, and McLaren will put all their efforts behind David Coulthard in his efforts to become world champion.
I think it's a little early for team orders at the moment. Both drivers are equal number one. The last 2 years where Mika's been ahead of David, then we haven't introduced team orders until we felt that the one that was behind was really out of the running, and I would imagine we'll stick to the same policy again this year. Just finally,
looking at your face, Adrian, it's been a tough old weekend for you. You look pretty tired, but a triumphant one at the end of it.
Yeah, no, it's all been worth it. It's been a difficult weekend. As I say, we probably didn't do as well in qualifying as we really should have done, but the drivers did a great job in the race.
Absolutely, we appreciate you joining us, Adrian. Thank you very much indeed. And we're now going to go straight from the paddock down there, straight across to Murray Walker's abode in Hampshire. Hi, Murray.
Hello, Jim.
First question, did you commentate throughout the race to your television?
No, I didn't. Do you know, this is the first time I've ever watched a race at home like everybody else does. And I must say, you've all done an absolutely cracking job. And there are 2 men in the race for me. One is David Coulthard, of course, and the other is James Allen, because I remember my first commentary and how nervous I was. And I think he did an absolutely superlative job.
But even so, Murray, we'll be welcoming you back when we go to Austria in a couple of weeks' time. What are your feelings, though, about what David Coulthard has done here with a view to the championship?
Oh, it's sensational, Jim, because this is the first time David's won more than twice in one season. He's now just 12 points behind Michael Schumacher. He's really put Mika Häkkinen down now, not just once, but several times. And all this stuff about no more Mr. Nice Guy, David remains a very, very nice guy that he's always been, but he's now got this hard, determined edge, and it's really showing. I thought he drove an absolutely superlative race, and I can hardly wait to get back to Austria, and I can hardly wait for the rest of the season. It's going to have us all on the edges of our seats.
Absolutely. Just finally, Murray, there might be one or two people out there who don't know that you damaged your hip last weekend. You always were an old hippie, weren't you? But you're going to be in shape and ready to resume in a couple of weeks, yeah?
Oh, absolutely, Jim. The hip is back. I'm walking well, no pain, no discomfort, and I will be there.
Good, Murray. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this afternoon. See you in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, when you rejoin us, we're going to look at some of the main points of the race with Tony Jardine, and we will also be having a word with Michael Schumacher. See you shortly. David Coulthard has won here at Manicure, despite Tony Jardine getting a poor start. Rubens Barrichello getting ahead of him on the start line, and then it was his job to fight back the Scot and get past the Brazilian.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, Barrichello has done a very, very good job here as well. But you know, this was Coulthard been blocked out. Looks down the inside there of Rubens Barrichello. He's got to get past him. He's got to get up and have a go at Michael Schumacher. Otherwise, it's all over for him. But that sheer thrust of the power going down there as he goes up towards the Nürburgring chicane, absolutely superb. Almost a rerun of British Grand Prix when those two were together, and of course they challenged each other in British Formula 3 a few years ago.
Then it was Coulthard against Michael Schumacher. He's made an apology for the gestures that he made. My feeling is it might well cost him a bit of a fine as well, but it just shows you wouldn't do that sort of thing if you're stuck in a traffic jam, by the way. There's a bit of road rage there, but it just shows the mood he's in, no matter who it is.
And that is because of Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher has been sniffing at him saying, you know, you're not really my championship contender. It's got to be Hakkinen. I'm not really going to take you seriously. But if you just look at this, he's had to go, you know, he can't get round. He's been forced round the outside. Out comes there. He's obviously checking which way the wind is blowing. Then sticking his finger up into the air. But, I mean, that is a big build-up of a lot of pressure, and that's the man he needs to be. That is the target, Michael Schumacher, who said he's not good enough.
Absolutely. For me now, one of the real memorable moments of the season, Coulthard really doing a number on Schumacher.
Yeah, and this, again, I didn't think it was on for a moment, and then he did what he did in Malaysia last year, and he went down the inside, but the wheels were almost interlocking. There was a touch of the side pods. There was just the right control of aggressiveness in there. And if you've got the adrenaline going like you have, it's not red mist at all, it's control. You're on it. Coulthard's been on it for quite a few races now, and he's very, very determined. That is so important for the second half of this season in the championship fight, because he feels he's done it. He can get past Michael Schumacher, and he's going to do it again. And
now, Tony, the end of Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen nipping through to make it the McLaren 1-2.
Yeah, and that's their first 1-2 since Spain this year. And you're talking about drivers who are going to be together, Hakkinen and Coulthard together for a sixth straight year. I mean, this is something like 23 Grand Prix wins together, this pairing. It's great. And you know, Schumacher did that in the warm-up this morning. He got slightly out of shape going into Adelaide, but that was him going through there, and just an impending engine problem for Michael Schumacher. And as Schumacher said, that's all it takes. One little failure, and the championship is open up again.
All right, then let's hear what Michael Schumacher has to say about it all. He's talking to our pit lane reporter, Kevin Piper.
Michael, second mechanical breakdown in 3 races. Does it question the reliability?
Obviously.
And as for the championship now, it's closer than ever. Not a good afternoon for you.
Yeah, but you know, a season is long, and I always said this before, so now we have the proof, unfortunately, for that, and still a long way to go. I'm pretty sure we fairly quickly fix these kind of problems we see today, and we will have good races again after that.
Jacques, well done for today. Pleased with your points?
Well, I'm very happy. The car was pretty good. It's been good all weekend, qualifying, and then the start went well as usual, and at least we were a little bit quicker in the race this time. There's only Ralph that was quicker, but it was easy to keep him behind. Then he had an engine problem. Too bad, because it was fun with him behind there.
What is the secret of your starts? Because that's not the first blinding start you've made this season.
I don't know. Just they started working well this year, and just keep doing the same thing. This one actually was a pretty good one.
Well done.
Thanks.
A good one for Jacques Villeneuve and the British-American racing team. Brief up some from you, Tony.
Olivier Panis, the number 3 driver, was in here early on, and as he went out, whispered in our ear, he said, there's going to be a big fight today. Those cars are really right. And now we've got a big fight, hopefully, for the rest of the season. That's brilliant.
Absolutely. A lot of sport still to come your way on ITV. Of course, the final of Euro 2000. Be sure to join Des Lynam with Ali McCoist and Terry Venables from 6. Match commentary, Clyde Tilsley and Ron Atkinson from 7. From 7, France, Italy, of course. And tonight, highlights 11:45. The show repeated tomorrow, as always, 7 o'clock on ITV2. Okay, in a couple of weeks' time, there's a Murray and Martin F1 special on the Friday night from Austria. Check your local listings for the exact times and the full service from the A1 Ring, qualifying live on the Saturday from 11:30. The race 12:15 on the Sunday. Highlights at 11:45 Sunday night. David Coulthard's done a number on Michael Schumacher, his first win in France, and he's kept the championship very much alive in the process. From us all in France, bye-bye.
If you would like to know more about Formula One, the website address sponsored by livesport365.com is www.itv-f1.com.